how's it going? As usual, my morning fucking cup of tea whilst perusing the news filled me with fucking rage. Christ on a bike. The cunts that run the UK really have not got a fucking clue what normal people think about fucking reality. Like the fucking lot of them walk around with a sack on their head. The other thing that irritates me is, do they just not get any fucking regular working stiffs in for question time or any of the fucking PMQs or anything like that? Because nobody seems to ask sensible questions, all reasonable questions that the average Joe in the street would ask. It's always some fucking cringing lefty who works for the BBC or something. Like, seriously, just look at this here. Big questions of the day. What's behind the UK's jumping testing? Well, we know what's behind it. You bleating sheep have been whinging endlessly as if we're fighting a pandemic that's as lethal as fucking AIDS, Ebola, or some shit. When it isn't, it pales in significance to like the Spanish flu. It's not even any more dangerous than H1N1 apparently, but the jump in testing is the media fucking demanded it. You can see the BBC's got rid of all their editors as well because they're having to cut back, aren't they? Look, a huge hole in the UK's fucking coronavirus defences. What's the coronavirus? Anyway, that's not what got my goat. This is what pissed me off. UK has a moral responsibility to help other nations. Well, again, I'm sure I'm a couple of steps left of some of you lunatics. I understand that. I'm not saying we shouldn't help other nations, but my real problem with is not the fact that we help other people out. It's the phrasing that they use as if we haven't been doing this for fucking decades, centuries really, let's be honest. But definitely in the last few decades, certainly all of my life. It says the first question is from a member of the public. Fucking bullshit. Thomas from the northwest of England asks, what can the UK do to help poorer nations through the pandemic? Right, seriously, if you think Thomas is merely a member of the public and not yet another fucking lefty activist, like every single one of them is, every fucking question that turns up when the BBC starts flag waving about it, every single one of them turns out to be a fucking lefty activist. Like, I mean, here's one from 2 days ago, but this is just one of dozens of examples we could point at. It says, Sky's Boris bashing teacher is a momentum activist. Of course she is. It says, teacher Ellie Sharp appeared on Sky News over the weekend to engage in some good old Tory bashing. She repeatedly said, speaking as a teacher and speaking as an educator. And then, you have a glance at the Twitter fucking feeds of these twats. And yeah, there they are, momentum propaganda videos, organisers for the National Education Union, fucking frigs Rebecca Wrong Daily off every bastard hour. They're all ridiculous. Retweets literal communists. That's obviously Ash fucking Sarkar. Yeah, here she is. Christ almighty. And there's Jezza opening his bastard mouth. See? To answer my earlier question, why is testing being ramped up? Well, because Jeremy fucking Corbyn wants it doing. Why? The Tories are soft as shite in this day and age. It's like they want me to take the plunge and just pick another party. Because it's like we haven't got a centre-right alternative in the UK. No one can convince me that the Tories are liberal or are not a liberal lefty party now. They didn't publish the fucking grooming gang report like they should have done. They don't deport people that have deportation orders against their fucking names and have actually been convicted. Foreign criminals convicted of despicable crimes don't get fucking deported. And we call them conservative. They're not worthy of the name. Anyway, went on a tangent there. They're all fucking lefty activists. Every one of them. This was just 2 days ago, but I could point at 3 dozen fucking instances. The one who was having a go at the health secretary turned out to be a lefty activist. They go, oh, this doctor is outraged with the health secretary. Turns out he's a fucking flaming lefty. Gives half his wages to momentum. Like, it's ridiculous. On the face of it. Anyway, so Thomas from the northwest of England is not a member of the public. Thomas is a fucking plant put there by whichever lefty media. And again, look at the media in the UK. Sky News, left wing. BBC, left wing. Channel 4, left wing. What major media organisations in the UK are not left wing fucking activists? Like, I can't even think of a TV channel that's impartial. You've got a couple of printed publications that are alright, but you've got none of the big media giants. Fucking none of them. So this twat, Thomas from the northwest of England, he's not a general member of the public. He's a fucking liberal activist, and I'm sure that'll come out in a couple of days' time. Anyway, again, I keep pivoting because I'm pissed off. The point is, what normal person during a pandemic, when they're worried about themselves and the family and the friends and the close relatives and the children, what normal person, the first thing they think is, how can we help fucking random strangers halfway across the globe? It's like I talked about in my last video, pathological altruism. It doesn't make sense. It does not make logical sense. It doesn't mean you're an evil cunt. It doesn't mean you're a far-right fanatic. It is common sense to worry about those nearest and dearest to us. And I'd say that to anyone listening, for fuck's sake. If I fell in a pond and your son fell in a pond, which one should you rescue? Save your own fucking lad, and I will not hold you any ill will as my lungs fill up with water and I sink like a fucking stone. It's perfectly logical and reasonable. No normal person thinks the way these fucking lefty activists think. So it's irrational. Thomas, you fucking spunk trumpet. It doesn't make sense. We've got a national pandemic. The country's in fucking turmoil. The economy's tanking. And the first thing Tommy thinks is, what can I do to help faceless strangers in fucking Brazil? Like, what is rational about that? And this is what pissed me off. Dowden's response is that the UK will continue to honour its commitment to spend 0.7% of national income on overseas aid, despite the challenges to the UK economy from the outbreak. The UK has always looked to help the less fortunate at times of need, Dowden adds, saying this is a matter of moral responsibility. Fuck off, Dowden. Dog shit Dowden. And I'm not even saying we shouldn't spend some money, but think about it, right? This is the crux of my argument. The Guardian wrote about it. In fact, no, let's not use The Guardian, because fuck The Guardian. Not only do I not want to encourage anyone to click on a Guardian article, my eyes bleed when I read the fucking drivel they write. And my fucking arse. Wikipedia will do. So the United Kingdom government austerity programme is a fiscal policy adopted in the early 21st century. I won't go through the drivel, but the short version is this. Between 2010 and 2019, more than £30 billion worth of spending reductions were made to welfare payments, housing subsidies and social services. This is a known fact. And I agreed with and supported all of it. We live too comfortably, we spend above our means, everyone needs to tighten the belt, sort their fucking lives out, drink a bit less, smoke a bit less, and generally not be a bunch of useless, lazy fat fuckers. So I supported the government austerity programme. I did. Especially coming from Middlesbrough, where 50% of the town does less work than the fucking ship's cat. It's fine. But what really fucking pisses me off, because it plays into the hands of the left and it makes me defend the cunts, is simply this. If we cut every year and had a full decade of austerity for our own people, our own taxpayers, people that have lived and worked in the UK for decades, and paid taxes every year like good conservative workhorses, how the fuck can you make a reasonable, logical argument that we should continue to spend as much or more in foreign aid? How does that make sense? Anyone? Like, I'm not even saying we should get rid of it. I'm not saying fuck the dirty foreigners, don't give them a penny. But if you can sit there with a straight face and say, right, sorry boys and girls, we've got no money, 10 years of austerity, 10 fucking years of austerity, and yet ring fence the foreign aid budget. How do you square that circle? How? 10 years of austerity for you. You work for a living, you pay taxes, well fuck you, 10 years of austerity. 10 years of it. But random faceless strangers halfway across the fucking world, they get every single penny they used to. No cuts at all, ever. The UK will continue to spend 0.7% of GDP on foreign aid. John O'Connell, Chief Executive of the Taxpayers Alliance, says the foreign aid target is totally arbitrary and meaningless, and it is disappointing that the Prime Minister has refused to see sense and scrap the ring fencing of the budget. Unfucking believable. And how much is 0.7% of our GDP? Well, it's 14.6 billion quid. You can buy a lot of fucking chicken McNuggets with 14.6 billion quid, can't you? 14.6 billion. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't give them anything. But when you've had enforced decade of austerity for 10 fucking years, and Theresa May says it's ring-fenced and it's never getting cut, you are essentially saying to working class people, you have to deal with austerity for 10 years, but random fuckers in Nigeria, they did get every penny. They don't get a cut. Could we not simply make this 0.7%, 0.5%? Why couldn't we do that? And then this number would save us a couple of billion quid, and we can use a couple of billion quid to plug other gaps in our own budget. I mean, is that not reasonable? I'm not saying give them fuck all, because I understand, right, being a centrist chap, I do know there's a lot of shit going on in the world, there's a lot of places worse than ours, and I do believe we do have some sort of historical duty to assist some of these places. Not random fucking places, by the way. I don't know what the fuck Somalia's got to do with bastard Britain, but places like, Jamaica and the West Indies, places that were sons and daughters of the empire that assisted us in the war and rebuilt the country. I agree with assisting those people, but random cunts, what the fuck have we got to do with them? What? St. Helena? Yeah. Turks and Caicos? Yeah. Jamaica? Yeah. We dealt with all of these people. They're part of the Commonwealth. Give them some money. But we give money to fucking random shit that has never had anything to do with the UK. What the fuck have we got to do with fucking Morocco or any of the other fucking shitholes we give money to? It's got nothing to do with us. That's my point. Thomas is a cunt and is doubtless a fucking lefty activist. We had to deal with 10 years of fucking austerity. Theresa May refused to ever cut the fucking cunting budget, and these guys have never seen a cut. Ever. It's fucking disgraceful. It needs sorting out. Shave a couple of billion off at least. And when some fuckhead like Thomas asks the question, you say, well, Thomas, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the budget from 0.7% to 0.5%. And therefore, we're still giving literally billions of pounds of taxpayers' money away, even during a pandemic, a massive crisis and death and economic hardship in the UK. We're still giving literally billions of pounds away to random foreign fuckers who we have never had hide nor hair to do with ever in human fucking history. That's what we're going to do. And he should say, fair dues. Can't say fucking fairer than that, giving taxpayers' money away to fucking strangers halfway across the globe. But they don't. He asks his bullshit lefty fucking activist question that not a single plumber, bricklayer or bus driver in the country gives a monkey's fuck about, and then dipshit, dogshit Dowden says, no, we'll just keep giving them as much money as we can. Are you taking the fucking piss? It fucking needs sorting out. We need Trump's attitude needs to be embraced by Boris. It's not the fault of the British Prime Minister. It's not the responsibility of the British Prime Minister to heal the fucking world. America first for Americans. No one can have any problem with that. If you're the Nigerian Prime Minister, look after Nigeria. If you're the French Prime Minister, look after France. If you're the American President, look after fucking America. Why we feel a need to fucking mollycoddle perfect strangers from the third world fucking baffles me. Like I always say, it's like the CEO of McDonald's worrying about if they're going to do any economic harm to Burger King. Look to yourselves, you fucking maniacs. This is fucking, it drives me fucking mad. Seriously, if you were a bus driver and you've paid your taxes every year and you have to deal with austerity for a decade, and every single year they keep sending more and more money abroad without ever making a single cut to it once, you have to be wondering what the fuck you're doing. I think out of spite, I'd just quit my job, demand a council house, and sit on my fat fucking ass all day. Pisses me off. Let me know what you think. Seriously, I want to hear a good argument. If we've had to deal with massive public cuts for a whole decade, what good argument can you give me that we should ring-fence foreign aid and never make a single cut to it? What? If anyone can come up with one, I would fucking love to hear it. 14 fucking, nearly 15 billion quid. What, you want to fucking send some money to the Ethiopian Spice Girls? Oh, here's 5 million quid. Fucking hell. Seriously, in fact, I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. If I start going through the shit that we've actually spent money on, your fucking head will explode. It actually is unbelievable. It's not 14.6 billion bags of rice that we've sent abroad. It's fucking shit like the Ethiopian fucking Spice Girls. Unfucking believable. Anyway, that's my piece for today. Cheers.